Hey, what's going on, everybody? Today I'm going to take a look at a few different charts. We'll start here with Bitcoin, go over some bearish ideas, some bullish ideas, and then figure out what is more probable. So as of now, the bull market support band is continuing to support the price, even though the price hasn't came down to test it, right? So you can see the Bitcoin price breaking out, testing the bull market support band, continuing to go up, testing the bull market support band, continuing to go up, right? Look at this. We broke below it, but we held horizontal support. We broke back above the bull market support band. The problem is we haven't came back down to test it. Now, if you're like me, you are an altcoin majority believer, right? You're more saturated in the altcoins, given the fact that altcoins have a much better potential at making more percentage points than Bitcoin can ever do, right? Because Bitcoin has already made all the millionaires and billionaires, and there's not much room left for everybody else. So where do we go? We go to the altcoins. Why? Because the altcoins have better percentage potential, but not only that, they have better utility value as well. Not to knock on Bitcoin, of course, because Bitcoin is digital gold. But what do you do with gold? What do you do with a gold bar? Do you use it? No, you put it in your safe and you lock your safe and you don't worry about it. And that's what Bitcoin is. Bitcoin was built as a payment system, but it's not really that good as a payment system, because if you have, for example, all of India and China and the United States using the Bitcoin network, it wouldn't work. It would just be a disaster. So it's better used as a store of value, right? And that's and a store of value will retain its value over the long run. But as far as percentage points, you're not going to get rich on Bitcoin. I'm sorry to say. I mean, for example, if you have say you have $42,000 in your pocket, most people don't have that kind of money laying around. But if you did, you bought one Bitcoin, and then it went to 100,000. Well, basically, you doubled your money with some change, and that's not really what I'm looking for. I'm looking for a bigger, much bigger percentage points. I mean, I know back in the day people talking about, and even still today, like, for example, people bought a few $100s worth of Dogecoin, and then boom, they see six figures, right? Is that going to happen with all of us? Probably not. But we have a better chance with altcoins than we do with Bitcoin. But the reason why we talk about Bitcoin is because altcoins are like insecure teenagers. Yes, you heard that right. They're like insecure teenagers. They constantly need reassurance, right? They go outside and you know, they do what kids do, right? But at the same time, maybe the next day, they don't feel so confident anymore, right? They're walking tall through the high school hallways, but then the next day they're kind of like, they're not, they're sort of standoffish, right? But here's the thing. Altcoins need, like I said, reassurance. The best way you can reassure the insecure teenagers is by reassuring them. And how do you do that with Bitcoin? Well, the best way for me is to test the bull market support band. So if you see, for example, XRP, you can see it's going down, 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 right? For the last 81 days, it's been going down. It's below the bull market support band. Let's look at H bar. H bar looks a little better. You could see we broke out of this range. We came down. Now we're back testing the range, which is good. We're also back testing the bull market support band, so it looks in a slightly prettier position, right? I mean, look at Link, for example. Link looks really good. Theta, or let's go XLM, same as XRP, Theta, right? Theta is also back testing the bull market support. That's a good thing. But going back to Bitcoin, to me, the best way the altcoins are going to get a breakout is, number one, we have an A, B, C, we come down, we test the bull market support band. If it gets tested and then we bounce off of it, we could be at the same price as here and here, but the fact that it tested it gives the altcoins what they need, which is reassurance. They need constant reassurance in the best way, right? You can see Bitcoin broke above the bull market support band, but it never came to test it. So the altcoins, in my opinion, will do so much better if Bitcoin finally confirms that this breakout is real. Because if you look, people say, look, we are in a range, right? We're in this range and we broke out of the range. But more importantly, we broke above the bull market support band. You could see here we broke below it and then we broke above it. The problem is if you break below it and then break back above it, you have to then come back down to test it. And if you don't test it, then there's no confirmation that this is a sustainable bull run, because it can easily just collapse, right? So we don't want it to collapse. We want it to come down and test and then bounce off. If we get that test and we bounce off, the altcoins are going to do so much better. They're going to actually fulfill their inevitable outcome. Well, I can't say inevitable, but the most probable outcome, which is a retracement. So looking at, for example, H bar and theta and all the others that are down in here, right? You have a bull market, you have a bear market, right? You have a base, but you don't have a retrace. We want the retrace. In order to get that retrace, you need Bitcoin to either oscillate up and down and or test the bull market support band. So I think that's going to happen. The good thing is with Bitcoin, it is still very bullish, right? Because it is sitting above, right? So a good thing we're not sitting below, we're sitting above. Again, we got a ton of wiggle room here. And even if we do break below here, which hopefully we don't, but if we do, then we're going to be coming down here 31K to backtest that area. So we got two zones right there. So we got two bases of area to look at. I mean, we're still in this, here's the whole wave, and we're still sitting at the top, right? So we still have a lot of room down. Now, do I think that's going to happen? Well, we have to wait and see, because again, we can either be in a wave 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, or some type of some type of correction where this was a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right? But to me, I've always said this is probably a flat where we have an A, B, C. So the idea would be, if this is an A, B, C, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, or A, B, C, test the bull market support band, then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right? Or if it's not going to do that, then we want it to sort of range. So we come down, we touch the bottom of the range. We come back up, we touch the top of the range. We come back down, right? We start making a range up here, a potential, maybe a Wyckoff distribution, right? Because Bitcoin hit its 618, right? So we have a rise, crash, retrace. The retrace is done. Now we're coming down for reaccumulation, sideways, and then continue the bull run. That's a potential idea, and I think that's most likely. The big question is, do we get another wave and then come down for reaccumulation? Or are we just going to oscillate in here, then come down for reaccumulation? Because if you notice, here's the bottom right here. This is 2023. We're going up, 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 all throughout 2023. 2023 was an up year. It didn't feel like it. It felt uncomfortable. It felt bullish at times, but it was a retrace. Now that we're in the retracement levels, it still feels kind of bearish, the sentiment, which leaves me to think that maybe we have one more wave to the upside. So we'll see what happens. We'll keep an eye on Bitcoin. Let me just zoom in real quick on the shorter time frames. This could also, like I said before, be an A, B, and then we get C, right? This is just, we're in a B wave. B waves are typically fake outs, right? A, B, C and that's actually what I would hope, because if we come down in an ABC, we can finally test it. If this is a 1, 2, and then we come back up, right? Then we can come back down and test it. It would be more complex. So for example, this in itself can be an A, B, C. And that would be very bearish, because you have potentially 5 down here, right? A, B, C, and then you get another 5 down here, right? And by hope, it would be if this is, right, a 1, 2, 3, right, 4, 5, or hopefully it's an A, B, C, right? It's just a bigger one. So there's a lot that can happen. Fourth waves are very unpredictable. You just don't really know how they're going to perform. The main point in understanding here is, number one, we are in an uptrend, right? We've been going up since 2023, which probably means we're due for a bigger correction. Number two, we have been impulsing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then again, we still have a potential fifth wave to come out of this. So we'll see. But more importantly, the altcoins are doing exactly what I would hope, which is, look at that. Here's H bar. Look at H bar. Look at that. I mean, tell me how bullish that is. It is consistently holding above the bull markets. I mean, this is not nothing I say is financial advice, but this is like buy the dip opportunity all day long right here. I mean, you can see multiple candles testing. This is what we want Bitcoin to do. If we can get Bitcoin to do that, it'll be a great thing, right? And you come down here, right? Draw a little trend. You can see, right? Falling, right? We broke out and we back tested not only the bull market support band, we back tested the downward resistance line, and we're continuing to go flat. And not only that, we're developing a base. And you say, well, that's H bar. I don't really care about H bar. But what's good for H bar is good for theta. What's good for theta is good for XRP. They're all cohesive at some level, right? So XRP doesn't look as pretty. And a lot of the reason was because of this move here. It really screwed up the look of the chart, but try not to pay too much attention to it, because that was a news event, right? It was a ridiculous type of situation where the judge ruled in the favor, and it seemed great at the time, but now when you look at it, it looks like it's in a downtrend. But to me, think about this. Here's the price of XRP. We do this, we come up here, we come down like this, and now it's like that. If that was the chart, that would be so bullish. But you have this ugly thing right here that sort of screws it up. Now, good thing that the rest of the market, right? The rest of the market looks like that. So I'm not going to really think about that too much. And XRP, it likes to screw with people, right? So if I put a line here, we can see that we broke below the support line. Not only that, and I'm going to tell you why I don't think this matters too much. Let me go to the daily. Let's go to the 2-day chart. I'm going to tell you why it doesn't really matter too much. But look at this. I'm going to give you all the bearish ideas here first, right? So you broke below that right there. Boom. You broke below the bull market support band. Boom. You also, 3 strikes you're out, broke below this here. Let me put it right there. Maybe it might be a little better right there. So this trend line. So look at that. Now, if you got 2 brain cells, right? You're thinking this is not good, right? But maybe that's what they're designing it to do. They're making you think, right? Number 1, we broke below the support line, which, by the way, we wanted to break out, back test, go. We didn't do that, right? This is our support, our back test zone. We broke below, we broke above, and then we broke right back below. Number 2, we broke below the bull market support band. Number 3, we broke below the trend line, right? So everybody's looking at this going, oh no, what do we do? Well, but here's the thing. Let's look at, look at Link. Link don't look like that. Not even close. Look how bullish Link looks, right? Let's go to Theta Fuel. Look at Theta Fuel. It lost the bull market support band, but again, I've said it's got some wiggle room. So as long as we hold above this, we're good. So we hit this resistance, came down, we broke out. Most likely you come down and you back test this area, and then you go. So it has plenty of wiggle room. Theta looks really good. Look at Theta. We broke above the bull market support band. Now we're testing the bull market support band. Also, we have this area here, right? The top of this, we can back test. The price broke above this, so we can come down and back test that, right? Worst case scenario, we come down here. I don't think that's going to happen. Or, anything's possible. But let's not entertain it until the day comes where we should entertain it. But for now, it looks like a standard A, B, C, a sort of a flat correction. You could see how it's, shaping. And then we have this support on the bull market support band. So in reality, you want to see, right? You can see we potentially have, let me zoom in a little bit. Potentially have maybe a 1 and a 2. And the 1-2 looks pretty good, right? You could see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, A, B, C, right? So you have a 1, 2, right? And what did I say? I said we come down, we tested it, we'll probably test it again. You break back above, we'll probably test it again, right? Break back above, we might even test it again, and that would be a 1, 2, 1, 2, which would be really bullish. Or a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and get us back up here. So we want to see the trend continue. We want to continue to see bounces. So here's the bull market support band. You want to see bounces off the support band, to let us know that yes, it's being supported. Now again, when you look at XRP, it broke way below and it's going down. Now usually, if it breaks down, it's going to come back up and test it as resistance. If it then tests that resistance, then it's the bear market resistance band. Then you want to see it come down. But it hasn't done that yet. So if we come back up and test it as resistance and it comes down, then it might not look too good. But if it comes down, comes back up to the bull market support, but then breaks back above it, then you know that this was a fake out. You always need confirmation, right? You always need that sort of that confirmation of what's going to happen. So going back to XRP, I know I'm jumping around, but just you'll see why. What I think could be happening also is, so we looked at the bearish, right? We broke below the support band, we broke below the resistance and this downward area here. But what about the bullish idea? Well, to me, looking at it from a fractal perspective, so you kind of see, I got this fractal from over here, right? Rise, crash, retrace, reaccumulation, sideways, blast off. So if that's the case, you have a rise, crash, retrace, reaccumulation, sideways, blast off. So if you take this sideways area in here and match it up with this sideways area in here, it looks pretty compelling. So let me just show you here. We have this area in here, right? You could see this pump to the upside, then a pullback, pump to the upside, then a pullback. Then you see this sort of flat top in here, right? Flat top in here. Then you can see the price coming down and sort of a retracement, right? Coming down, retracement, continuing to go down, right? Then you kind of go a flat in here, right? Same kind of thing in here. You kind of go flat a little bit. Now again, this was the SEC anomaly, but you could see how the price going down then pops up. You can see it going down then pops up. And then now you could see the fractal gradually going down, and you can see it from this peak here. It's continuing to go down. The interesting thing is, look where we're at. If this fractal is going to be true, which I don't know it is, but if it is, then we should see a reversal coming in soon. So, maybe we come up, maybe we hit the low one more time, like that, get that divergence, then have a pop to the upside, flag out, come back, and then go. That could totally happen, and that would make sense to me. And you could say, well, how does that work if we broke below all the trends and everything, right? So, and that would be a fake out. See, in order for someone to benefit from XRP, you have to have 100% conviction, right? And if you have the support line breaking to the downside, right? You also have the bull market support band breaking to the downside. And then you also have this rising trend line breaking to the downside. So it's all of this, 3 signals, is saying get out, right? Get out, sell while you still can. And maybe it's true. Or maybe it's a big fake out. I know one thing, I'm not giving up my XRP, not even a chance. So I've always stated before, right? This is a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, A, B, C. Maybe C gets down here a little further down. Okay? And then we rocket to the upside. And that would get everybody bearish. The whole point, the way you get these big bull runs, right? Look at this. This is important. Look how massive that is. The way you get these massive, massive, massive pumps is you gotta have a fake out to the downside. You gotta have a liquidity trap. You gotta have some type of event. Look at this. If I draw the trend, it broke. If I draw it over here, it also broke, right? And if I put it down here, right in here, it broke to the downside. Look at this. Look at this. It also broke below the bull market support band. It broke below this support area up here, and it also broke below all of this support down here. I mean, come on. There you go. That's 3 strikes, you're out. And look at that liquidity right there. Boom. And that was intentional. They did that on purpose. They did that, number one, to make you sell their coins or your coins to them. Number two, to make the traders go short, to draw in liquidity, right? And number three, to absorb the supply so that they can reap the rewards. And that's what happens on the biggest moves, right? If a chart looks pretty, too pretty, right? Like, maybe chain link, it looks nice, it looks, it looks easy, it looks like it's following a trend, then you could get some reward out of it. But the biggest rewards comes from the biggest risk. And the biggest risk is looking at this nasty chart and thinking, man, this is too risky. It does not look good. But it's all intentional. I'm not saying that this time is the same, right? But a lot of times when people say this time is different, it's usually not. Usually it's the same story, just rhymed in a different way. So for example, we are essentially right in here. Or, we can even be right up in here too, right? And we still have a little bit further to go. So take a mental screenshot of that and then come back over here. It's the same thing. Look what's happening. And I even showed you that fractal too. And not only that, the other chart was so bearish that it broke below this low too, I think. Right? And it broke below these lows in here too, right? So we're still not even close. Not to say that it's going to break that, but we did break the rising trend like it did before. We did break the top of this like it did before. We did break the bull market support band like it did before. So that, to me, that's actually confluence that this is a bullish move, right? And again, we've been going up since 2023. Here's the 2023 right here. We're going up, right? All the way about 6 months. And now we've been going down, right? For an additional, I think that was 6 months? July to, that's actually more than 6 months, right? Because we're in February now. So my main idea for XRP is this is a fake out, and we are getting set up for the biggest crypto XRP moonshot that nobody will see coming, right? A, B, C. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, A, B, C. Break below this, break below that, break below the band, get everybody bearish, get everybody short, make everybody sell, bring in the liquidity, and then bam, see ya, right? And that's what exactly happened over here. Same thing. Everybody sold their coins. Imagine selling your coins right in here. Imagine selling your coin right here. You think, oh, it's over. We broke support. We broke the trend. We broke the bull market support band. We're right here. I'm selling. I'm getting out. Screw this. And then you sell, and you could have literally been a multi-millionaire. And then you get all up here, right? And you go, oh man, I missed it. I'll wait for a pullback. And then it goes up here, right? And you go, oh, I can't take it anymore. I'm going to buy in. And then the bear market happens. Don't be that guy. Please. Not financial advice, but man, XRP is the most bullish chart I can even asked for, right? It's only had one markup phase, which really wasn't a markup. It's only really had one bull run. Base, bull run. Base, what comes next? Just look at it. Base, bull run. Base, bull run. I mean, it makes sense, right? So you can say, well, how does that happen if Bitcoin, well, it really, Bitcoin has to be a factor. So let's pray that Bitcoin doesn't do anything stupid, which I don't think it will. Because going back to Bitcoin, I think it's in some type of distribution, or it's setting up for a new bull run, or it's setting up for a rise, crash, retrace, reaccumulation. Judge orders Ripple to hand over financial documents after request from SEC. I don't know, that just popped up. And again, XRP has plenty of ammunition from the court, right? From the Ripple IPO and things like that. So let's look at it a different way. If I take this line here and I put this here, and then what does that look like to you? Well, to me, it could potentially be, right? You have your neckline, right? You have this neckline in here. It could potentially be a shoulder, a head, and look at this, another shoulder. Maybe we're coming down in this other shoulder in here, right? Look at that. That is a massive inverse head and shoulders. So if I take a line here, bring it right up about there, and then I take this here, put it right about there, that gives us a target of about $2.60 or so. That would be nice. That would be nice. So you do have bearish looking things on the chart, right? You do. But so was over here. And it was all intentional. Intentional. So number two, right? You do have bullish things on the chart, like the fractal. So, you have this move like this, right? It's flat in here, this down. We go sort of sideways. We sort of pop up, and now we're going down, right? We're right in here. So maybe that's it, right? And then number two, you got this sort of inverse head and shoulders, right? Shoulder, head, shoulder, maybe not. So that's sort of the idea there. And then also, right, again, we have the biggest thing for me is rise, crash, retrace, reaccumulation, sideways base, blast off within a sideways base, right? So you have a big base, and in that base you have a rise, crash, retrace, reaccumulation, sideways, and in this base you also have another base, and in all of this you also have the fractal in here, and then you also have somewhat of a fractal in here as well. So what do you know, right? What could be happening? And then also you have a bullish potential contracting triangle, right? Where you have A, B, C, D, E. Just like back over here. As many of you probably know this, A, B, C, D, E, right? In the form of a contracting triangle. So yeah, I mean, there's more bullish weighing out the bearish. So again, the bearish, right, we broke below this and this, the bull market support band, but again, that's exactly what happened over here before we blasted off. So there you go. That's my thoughts on XRP. Is it going to come true? Right? So if I had to guess, my best guess, I'm thinking, well, first of all, let's turn on the sequential and see what's that doing. Let's go to the weekly chart. We'll turn on the sequential. We had a 9 2 weeks ago, but it's sort of going below the 9. Check this out. This is the 5-day chart. You can see here we had a 9 buy, and it was a good 9 buy on this time frame. And look at this. We had another 9 buy. So our resistance are these 2 red dots here. It's printing these red dots. So let's break above that 52.5 cent mark. And if I go to the 4-day chart, look at that. We are on a 9 right now. And this chart I really like because how perfect the 9 came in following the breakdown. So you can see the one candle, and that was sort of the big candle that started this downtrend, right? So it looks really good. We have a 9. We have a 9 buy right now. So there you go. What else? Well, you could see here, this could potentially be an A, B, C. Look at C, A, B, C. C's pretty extended. So if I take a fib right in here, pull the fib down here, and then I'm going to pull it right back up here, where did it go? Well, it looks like we're right in the middle of the 1.272. So I would say about 48 cents. Now, if it hits the 1618, then that would be sort of a 1, 2, 3, right? So 1, 2, and this would be a third wave. And ABC usually hits around this area in here. So everything's looking good, right? We do have the issue of breaking below this and the bull market support. But here's the thing, the other altcoins are not telling that story, right? XRP is telling a different story. So maybe that's the thing. XRP, the altcoins, like if you look at THETA, right? Look at THETA. We are on an 8. Let's go to the 3-day chart. Let's go to the 5-day chart. Let's go to the weekly chart. Yep, it looks good. I'm just trying to see the different looks on here. The 4-day chart. Look at this. In 2.5 hours, we're going to get a 9. I repeat, in 2.5 hours from the time of recording, when the daily candle closes, we're going to get a 9 buy. Look at that. The 9 buys coming in on top of the bull market. I mean, you can't ask for anything better than that. Number one, right? I mean, now we'll talk about THETA. I talked about XRP. I made my case. Now we'll talk about THETA. Number one, you have what? Wyckoff accumulation, right? Boom, boom, boom. Here's your spring. You grab the liquidity, you take off, and now we're sort of in this area in here before the big breakout. Here's a perfect example of Wyckoff accumulation. You can see exactly where we are. And this is the same thing for THETA, right? This is the crypto total market cap, which is another reason why to be bullish, right? I mean, look at that. It's textbook. You can see on the top here is your example, and you can see on the bottom the chart, right? So for the price of THETA, it's the same thing. We have this Wyckoff accumulation area, right? It's a different schematic, but it's the same. It's the spring, and here you go. Another thing, right, is shoulder, head, shoulder. Inverse head and shoulders in the making, right? So that's number 2. Number 3, you have an impulse to the upside. An impulse to the upside. Number 4, you have a bullish correction. You have a bullish correction. Number 5, you have a back test of the bull market support band. I mean, come on. Number 6, right? I mean, again, number 5, you have a back test of the bull market support band. Number 6, you have a 9 coming in a couple hours. Number 7, you have all of these candles continually testing. Look at that. Remember what I said up here. This could be a flat, and it turned out to be a flat, right? And then what else did I say? I said I should go back and replay the video. I said we can come down and test. And that's exactly that's what we want, right? We want it to test, and test. We want it to continue testing, because that is going to lead to double, triple, quadruple confirmation that this breakout was real, right? We're testing in here, and then eventually we get out of here, right? Now, it could turn into an A, B, C, and we can back test this area down in here, right? A, B, C, right? And then we get back above the bull market support band. Take a little bit more time, maybe an inverse head and shoulders breakout. Either way, it could take some time. We establish a base, a range, right? Just like the Wyckoff accumulation, this is it right here. So 1, 2, 1, 2. 1, 2, 1, 2. And then we have this impulse. And now look at this. Right there is exactly what's happening right here. So what was that? Number 6, number 7? Now what about number 8? Let's go back to, we have the market cycle cheat sheet, right? Where you have this sort of bull phase, bear phase, and then this depression phase, which to me is the most important phase. I mean, if you look at this, right, and then you look at this, it's like literally identical. It's insane, right? Let's see if I can make it closer. And I did a whole video on this, but basically it's the market cycle of, you know, how market cycles usually go down, right? You can see this little boop, boop, right? Boop, boop, right? Come back up, come all drizzle down, impulse up, go sideways, breakout. So, and then you have that shoulder look, right? So I'm bullish on theta. Not much else to say, right? Let's see how she reacts. If we do end up losing the bull market support band, we break below it. Again, we got wiggle room down here and right there, and then we have a little bit right here and right there and right there. So we have all those lines in there of support between 64 and 88. So we're sitting at 95, we're still good, right? So we can come down a little bit further, maybe bounce up, and then come down, hit one of these lines, then go. That's possible, right? Or we can just get out of here. Or it can be complex, right? I don't know. I'm not sure. We have to wait and see. But at the same time, it's holding, it's bullish. Nothing to worry about. Looks all good to me. Look at XLM is on a 9 buy on the 4-day. So same kind of thing with XRP. Ethereum still haven't tested the bull market support band like Bitcoin. You want to come down, test it, then continue higher. Matic holding above the bull market support band. 1, 2, holding above, right? Worst case scenario, we come down and back test this area, A, B, C, and then continue higher. So boom, boom, boom. A, B, C, or hopefully 1, 2, and now we're in the third wave. And this is the first of the third. So this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of the third, potentially. Solana, I mean, I wouldn't even touch Solana. It went up too high. It's nowhere near the bull market support band. It has a lot more room down than up. It never back tested this, never back tested that, never back tested this either. These lows here, just boom, straight up. So good luck. I don't, we'll see. It can keep pumping, right? But there's no entry for me, so I'm not really interested. ADA looks really good. Look at ADA. Same kind of thing of that market cheat sheet, right? Same kind of thing of the Wyckoff accumulation. Also, we have a bullish impulse, a bullish correction. We have a 9. We're also above the bull market support band. We didn't test it yet, which is, neutral, but like to see it tested and then a nice bounce off, or continue to test and then another bounce off. But for now, that's a big impulse in the correction. So it tells me probably going to continue higher. Casper, one of my small cap gems. We did lose the bull market support band, but if you look at the whole chart, look how high this thing went, by the way. It went up to like $28 and it's only 3 cents. Crazy. So can you imagine it retracing? Just even back up to 22 cents? That's a big move right there. I'm looking at it kind of like the way XRP looks. It sort of looks like that, where you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then you have an A, B, maybe a C, and then a continuation. So this chart reminds me a lot of XRP. Filecoin looks pretty good. Look at that. We have this Wyckoff accumulation. We broke above. I mean, they all look the same, like theta fuel, right? Let's look at theta fuel real quick. Theta fuel, same thing. It's below it slightly, but once theta kicks into gear, this thing's gonna also kick into gear. Yeah, Wyckoff accumulation, an impulse, back testing the support band. They all look generally the same, right? All of them look the same, right? And if you look at H bar, it looks the same, right? Wyckoff accumulation, broke above, now it's testing the bull market support, but they're all at the bull market support band. And the ones that look different is XRP, right? It looks drastically different because of the court case and things like that. So for example, XRP did this, it went up, then it came back down, and then it looks like this. But if you look at H bar, it just went like this. So the look of it looks better, which tells me that this move for XRP was BS. That's why I'm not really paying attention to it. The majority of the altcoins far outweigh the way XRP looks, so I'm not even concerned, right? Even though when you look at the fractal, that was designed anyways, right? That's sort of what happened anyways. So there you go. Not much else to say. Not too much has changed. A lot of stuff is bullish. We just have to wait on this guy right here, Bitcoin. So if Bitcoin has an A, B, C, and we get back down here and then we bounce off of it, that's when I believe all the coins take off and break out, right? Or if we continue, if this is a 1, we come down for 2, and then we come all the way back up and challenge this, then I'm going to think they're also going to have a big move to the upside. But either way, things are looking good. I mean, Bitcoin's above the bull market support band. That's all you can ask for, right? That's all you can ask for. I mean, look at even Dogecoin is above is testing. Look how many tests that is. Look at that. Test, 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 test. That's why I like this indicator. It's probably the best indicator, right? Along with sequential, along with Elliott wave. Now, looking at the stock market, it doesn't look too pretty, right? I mean, it broke out, yeah, but it's awful three-wave-ish. It looks a lot like Bitcoin did when it took out the high. So it came down 1, 2, 3, took out the high, then crashed. Like right here. We had same thing here. Look at this. We had the high, we came down, we had a 1, 2, 3, we took out the high, then crashed. So it looks like it's right in here. Hopefully not. Hopefully not. Hopefully it stays in here for a while, because we need it to stay in order. You know, the stock market has to remain bullish in order for these altcoins to run, right? So look at SHIB. Look at this. Same thing. Sort of a Wyckoff accumulation. 1, 2, 3. You have the spring. You come down here. You're sort of, this looks like to me a 1, 2, 1, 2. That looks very bullish. That looks very bullish. And then look at the base. Look at the base down in here. Right? Look at this big impulse. We don't have a retracement. We need to come up and at least retrace. So it looks really good to me. Wyckoff accumulation, you come down for your spring, right? And then you have a 1, 2, 1, 2, and the second 1, 2, mind you, back testing the bull market support band. And not only that, right? If you zoom in a little bit on the 4-day, I think there should be, yeah, there's the 9 right there on the bull market support band. So when people say, oh, the market's bearish, I don't think so. I think it's looking good. It's looking real good. The only thing is Bitcoin. We got to see how that goes. But yeah, I'm just sort of rapid fire, right? Rapid fired all these altcoins and see what we got here. The total market cap basically looks the same as Bitcoin. But if you look at total 3, which is everything except Bitcoin and Ethereum, you could see we have a rise crash, we have our base, right? And we have a Wyckoff, boom, 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 and then we break out. We want to get that to that retracement. So that's sort of my main idea there. So there you go. This bottom chart is Theta, the top chart is Bitcoin. You can see, look at that divergence. You can see Bitcoin going up, alts going down. That's divergence, right? They're diverting. But then look, you could see a break. It's catching up, it's pulling back. To me, it looks like it's going to catch back up. That way they meet up with each other, and then they decide, do we go up or do we go down? But in the meantime, I think for Theta, the trajectory is up. So if I take that off, yeah, looks very bullish. And check this out. If I draw a downward resistance line, look at that. We're back test. I mean, come on. Remember I said bullish idea number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Well, look at this. Look at that. I'll probably do a Theta only video maybe tomorrow. And I'll shoot down my top 10, top 20 reasons why. But look at that. We backed. Look at that. Wow. Right here. You could see it right here. Look at that right there. Zoom in. you can see we're like right there. We're back testing it. We back tested the downward resistance line and the bull market support band at the same time. So zooming out, look at that. So breakout, back test, go. So yeah, there you go. Let's see what happens. I think that'll be it for this video. I'll probably get more video out sometime this week and do some more looking at the charts. But all in all, I'm waiting for a pump to the upside and waiting for Bitcoin to sort of make a decision on its range, and really want to see the market, you know, they all look like this. So we have that initial first wave. So it's either 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, or it's an A, B, C. Regardless of what it is, we want this wave to the upside. So let's see. And that wave to the upside gets us back into these retracement levels up in here. So yeah, that should do it for this video. If you guys can, appreciate the like and a subscribe and drop a comment, and I will catch you guys on the next one. Cheers.